Will, their force, they are life, and they are trying to lead us towards something, and there's a divine justice in their judgment. In Zarathustra, he famously says, everything in woman is a riddle, and everything in woman has one solution, and it is called pregnancy. Because man is for woman only a means, the end is always the child. But what is woman for man? The real man wants two things, danger and play. That's why he wants woman, the most dangerous plaything. Man shall be trained for war, and woman for the recreation of the warrior. All else is foolishness. Better than man does woman understand children, but man is more childish than woman. In the real man there is a child hidden, and it wants to play. Get up then, you woman, and discover the child within man. A plaything, let woman be this, pure and fine like the precious stone, illuminated with the virtues of a world not yet come. Let the beam of a star shine in your love. Let your hope say, may I bear the Superman. And Nietzsche concludes that woman is life. Woman is a savage, psychopathic beast, full of will to power, driving towards being bred by the strongest man so she can create a super child. This is what all of her instincts and all of her urges inside of ourselves are built in order to coordinate ourselves towards. And there's great wisdom inside of this. Something deep within woman knows. And in fact, the great sin of modernity is that we've allowed this Schopenhauerian, European Buddhism, this moral nonsense, to brainwash her into thinking that she has to become some moral fanatic or some feminist or whatever it is. And this has destroyed her. It has taken her away from her instincts. It has taken away from her true power, her true majesty, her true virtue, which is what she is. Woman is life. It is kill that life out of her. As I've said in other videos, the world we live in now, the regime we live in now is at war with life. It denies life. It is a life-denying regime. It gives women a false story about what they are. It is the Schopenhauerian denial of reality. It tells women that they must go against their nature and become something else. Anything but yourself, because you are nature, and your urges and your passions and your desires follow along with that. But Nietzsche's trying to redeem that. He's trying to acknowledge that. Do you understand what we have done over the past 200 years? Because of our war with reality and nature and life itself, we've constructed a culture that sterilizes women and castrates men. We have a false representation of life to these two people because we hate life. We're in denial of life. We live in a death cult, a nihilistic, life-denying regime because the Schopenhauerian spirit within Western man cannot cope with the savageness of life. And Nietzsche just wanted us to turn around and affirm that. And the second you affirm life, something magical happens. All of a sudden, women get justified. All of a sudden, men get justified, just as they are, just what type of force they are. Man becomes, again, the warrior. He must embrace his instincts. He's wired via his endocrine system to be full of testosterone, to compete and become powerful, to become a warrior. And all of a sudden, all of that just clicks into gear. Like someone like Andrew Tate is promoting all the time, saying, men should be strong, do your push-ups. Why does that resonate with people so much? Because that's our nature. And when you get some fucking crazy bastard who starts talking about that, everybody starts losing their mind. They're like, oh, that's exactly what I want to hear. And women are no different at all. Their experience of modern life is hell, is struggle. Their hormones are ruined by birth control, by the sterility, by getting turned into 35-year-old cat ladies, by living lives and ending up sterile with a meaningless career. Their lives are getting destroyed as well. They're getting taken away from their nature and their natural power. They're getting forced to participate in the rational modern world where their whole instinctive, intuitive powers are stripped away from them. Did you know that in the ancient world, in the barbaric pagan world of the Germans, the Romans noted that the Germans would consult their women and take their opinion very, very seriously. They had this reverence for the perspective that women have. But now these warrior men don't have that anymore because women seem to have been turned into these crazy hysterics because of this modern culture that is teaching them the wrong value system, teaching them how to misunderstand themselves. Both sexes are going downwards, not because they're at war with each other. This is the false mistake that everybody makes. It's man versus woman or something like this. It's that we're all suffering from the death cult. The death cult is weighing heavy on us all, and what redeems us is our ability to lift ourselves, to have a re-evaluation of our value system. Understand that Schopenhauer's perspective ran deep in an awful lot of us, and we must lift ourselves out of this. We can't be anti-change children antinatalists. We can't hate our identity and who we are. We can't hate our gender and our nature. We can't go to war with biology for very long without suffering serious consequences. Instead, we want to lift ourselves out of that and ascend and redeem life, become a life cult, seek and reach towards life. That's the thing that saves us. And of course, when you start to do that, you must engage and acknowledge life. And life is amoral. Life is a monster. Life is a demon. Just like woman, just like man, just like all the bad parts inside of ourselves must be affirmed. The parts that cause suffering, the struggles that we have, the way that we misunderstand ourselves, all of this stuff actually has to be embraced if we want to do the thing that is important, which is actually win and make it the future and create life that is higher and higher again, to create something that is beyond ourselves, more powerful than we even are, to create a next level of mankind, some super children that are going to end up taking over the future and doing things that we cannot even dream of. The Ubermensch will come through us, and it won't come through a load of boys on the internet. It will come through a load of boys on the internet and their wives, all making beautiful babies who eventually are going to become so strong that we can't even see them as they chase across the horizon. That's how the future is reached, and that comes from an embrace of nature, not a denial of it. So I will leave it there, my friends. Thank you very much for your time. Unfortunately, despite Nietzsche